Of the 22nd of October 2024, I declare the meeting open at 6 o'clock. This panel is charged with considering planning proposals of any scale and development applications where there is a value less than 30 million and where there is potential conflict of interest or a contentious development or substantial departure from controls or is a sensitive development. Further, the panel must consider applications over they receive over 10 submissions. The public meeting is being recorded and is live streamed to Council's YouTube page. The recording is an official record of Council and may be made available to persons upon request in accordance with the Freedom of Information legislation. Excuse me. Applicants and members of the public that have registered to speak on an item will be asked to unmute their phone or computer or come to the desk, the microphone over there. And they have 3 minutes to make their representations. The panel may or may not have any queries or questions to ask in relation to whatever they say. Excuse me. Once the panel has heard from all speakers, including applicants, we will make a decision during the, we'll either make a decision during the meeting or adjourn to consider our decision. And we will be adjourning. We don't make decisions in public in relation to matters on this agenda. But before we move forward, I'd just like to introduce the panel and get them to introduce themselves and also to identify whether they have any declarations of interest. And I'll start by, my name is Sue Francis and I have no conflicts of interest, and we'll go.
Thanks, Sue. Emma Kirkman, I'm the Community Representative on tonight's panel and no conflicts of interest.
My name is Wayne Carter. I have no conflicts to.
Scott Barwick, and I also have no conflicts of any of the matters on the agenda tonight.
Got it. Fantastic. Now, hopefully I won't have a croaky voice now. Okay, before we start the meeting, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians, the Gadigal and Bidjigal people of the Eora Nation, and pay respects to elders past, present and emerging. The people of the Eora Nation, their spirits and ancestors will always remain with our waterways and the land, our Mother Earth. We have 2 items on this public agenda, but we have speakers only in relation to item 6.1, which is 1 to 7 Green Street, Meadowbank, which is a modification to a previous application that's been granted approval. And the speaker we have is Mr. Jürgen Weber. Beforehand, however, I do want to identify and put on the record that we have received a submission from Mr. Weber last week, and also a letter today that we have before us from Mr. Steve Callister. So we will take those into account in any decision we make. So, Mr. Weber, if you'd like to come forward. The floor is yours for 3 minutes.
Dear Bayside Local Planning Panel members, I'm objecting to MDA 2024-115 for the following reasons. Firstly, the unnecessary felling of trees. The original controversial development, DA 2023-154, gained approval with the condition that no trees shall be felled. That's condition 43. I believe the tree can be retained by allowing the vehicle to swerve further to the right before turning left into the site on Green Street, since Green Street is a quiet cul-de-sac in a local traffic area with a 40 km/h speed limit and there's little oncoming traffic. The second reason I'm objecting is the ongoing provision of deeply flawed and misleading documents to the Bayside local planning panels by council staff, which in my opinion means the original approval of the depot development as a whole is illegitimate. The depot will operate from 3:30 a.m. when some 24 staff will arrive on site with their cars and motorbikes, and from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m. several noisy rubbish trucks and other vehicles will leave this site on 6 days a week and disturb the sleep of the many neighbours. The depot has gained approval relying on an acoustic report that was submitted late to the planning panel and was not made public before the meeting. The revised final report is still riddled with mistakes, but I only have time to describe 2. The acoustic report has severely overestimated the nighttime background noise by including heavily wind-affected data into the analysis. Data with wind speeds of up to 10 meters per second, that is 36 kilometers per hour, was included in the analysis. This is in contravention of industry practice, Australian Standard AS 1055, and New South Wales EPA Noise Guide for Local Government, and the noise report is for this reason also not compliant with New South Wales EPA Noise Policy for Industry. The acoustic report submitted to the BLPP has also falsely classified a 12-unit apartment residence, 33 Delhi Avenue, directly north of the site as commercial and has not considered nighttime noise impact on the residents at all. For that reason alone, the acoustic report, in my opinion, is invalid. The final planning assessment report shows the same mistake. It does not mention 33 Delhi Avenue apartments at all, and somehow, in an astonishing coincidence, a wrong location photo is used, and the photo that would normally show the Delhi Street apartment block instead shows a part of Holloway Street. Even in tonight's agenda, site and location context, the modification assessment report continues to downplay the residential context of this site, and it seems to pretend neighbouring 33 Delhi Avenue does not exist. Mistakes happen, but once pointed out, they need to be addressed by council staff and not be ignored and repeated, especially when there's such a clear conflict of interest where the council is in charge of approving its own very controversial development. No modifications, extensions or watering down of conditions should be allowed until council can convincingly show that the depot development is compliant with New South Wales noise regulation. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much. I'd just like to clarify that the council is not determining its own application. That's why this panel is looking at the application, just for clarification.
Thank you.
Do any of the panel members have any questions to Mr. Webber? Queries? Clarification? No. Thank you very much indeed. Now, we don't have any more speakers in relation to any of the items on the agenda. So unless there's anything the council wishes to say to the panel in relation to anything? No? Okay, I will close the meeting then at 6:06. Thank you very much indeed. We will make our decisions and they'll be on the website in the next 2-3 days. Thank you very much.